tournaments in the Chinese Super League the same year. Best of 7, love all. So casual with some of these shots. Still whip-like speed bullets coming across the net. There's the power. It was the Kuwait Open in 2015 where I sat with Ma Long and Fan Zhendong, and they were giving each other a hard time. Ma Long said, "I wish I were fat like Fan Zhendong. I need his power."
1-2.
It's very interesting, the diets of different athletes. Again, they're out here burning carbs left and right. Well-placed shot from the backhand. Ma Long jamming him up in the body. Ma Long fans in the front there. Two backhands in a row, super spinning from down low from Fan Zhendong. Ooh, what a catch. I guess Ma Long could be described that way by many. Spinning backhand, definitely many here. Again, 85% of the crowd is women right now. At home on the TV. It's going to be tough for me to do the statistics on that. Regardless, opening backhand and a quick reaction to catch the ball. Fast long serve with underspin. Subtle contact. Typically top spin on the fast long serves. Underspin tends to float, come in a little bit slower, allowing for the opening of the opponent. So it's a risky serve, difficult to execute. Inside out forehand in combination with the long serve to the backhand. Ma Long up by 2 right now, 8 points into the game. Oh, burned. And this is the real test when you're dealing with players with these skill sets. Soft touch throughout the beginning of the rally until Fan Zhendong can open. But when he gets a big step around shot, Ma Long quickly closes down on the ball, plays it wide out to the forehand side. This is second nature for these players to know where to go as soon as they hit one ball. It's an outstanding recovery from the middle of the body by Fan Zhendong. Still Ma Long quickly moving the feet, staying in control.
73.
Spinny backhand stays low to the net. Wouldn't be surprised to hear some screams. Zhou Yu and Feng Bo walking back into the room. Ooh, inside out backhand from the back of the table. Just amazing. For just a moment, Zhou Yu and Feng Bo walk into the room in uniform. And all heads turn, all eyes are on them. Despite having two of the most popular players in China on table 1 right now on the main stage. This is where a change of pace and trajectory can really be effective. Both players looking for the opportunity to come in with power and finish the point in this backhand to backhand rally. Ma Long gets the big first cracking backhand, the big opening. It's been back and forth so far here in game 1. Excellent core strength and footwork from Fan Zhendong to get in for the Chiquita on the short side of the table and then back to the deep backhand. Ma Long playing the combination just right. Testing Fan Zhendong, who passed. A+ on that exam. Stepping back into a 2-point lead in game one. Now Fan Zhendong has faced off with Ma Long 8 times, and all 8 of those, Ma Long has been the victor. That was a going for broke to the short side of the table forehand from Ma Long. Can make that shot with decent percentages for sure. I think Fan Zhendong's chances go up astronomically if he can take game one. Ma Long is still the favorite in this match, in my opinion. Lightning from both sides. The roof is going to come down with some of these shots. So much power, backhand to backhand at first. And then the forehands come into play. Look how much power Ma Long put on that counter backhand, but it doesn't phase Xiaopeng. Fan Zhendong stirring it up for the crowd at 9 points each. 360 degrees of crazed fans around the table as far as this stadium goes. And Ma Long with the last 2 serve combination that either player will see in game one. Serve comes a little bit long, and Fan Zhendong with side and top spin waits patiently at the backhand corner to steal the point. A game point for Fan Zhendong, who had been trailing for the majority of this game. The long serve goes too long, a risky serve. Clever attempt from Ma Long, but when the pressure builds, it's even tougher. In game one to Fan Zhendong, this is getting interesting. We could see a history first here. It's history in the making. We'll see game two right after this. As the players come back, there were screams all around. Everybody in a frenzy, uncomfortable out here because Zhang Jike just entered the room. And with Coach Qin Zhejian in the middle, those 3 players causing a lot of heartache for women in the crowd. In case you thought the players were nervous, look at any one of the fans, 5 out of 6 of them shaking right now. Backhand to backhand, it's Ma Long with the point.
Love 3.
In the push game, the touch over the table, it's Ma Long who gets his first point in game 2. Lead service, they'll play that one again.
Love.
Heavy spin down the middle of the table for Fan Zhendong for the point. Step around the quick move to turn the corner. You could hear the grunts and the power from Fan Zhendong. While both players have explosive power, Fan Zhendong probably slightly more power, as Ma Long has expressed in the past. While humility is part of the culture, I think honesty from these two is going to come first.
3-4.
Zhou Yu on the left, Fang Bo to his right. I'm sure you all recognize Zhang Jike from sitting courtside. Some VIP seating here next to the court. In the touch game, Fan Zhendong ties it up at 4 points each. Shot block goes long. A whole lot of wrist action on that one. Ma Long stuck with the racket head up in the crossover point. Now a little fun fact for you. Since you can't all be here in the stadium with me, security was just sent in to stand behind Zhang Jike. 3 security. Making sure that no crazed fans rush the players. Now the step around inside out forehand, and Fan Zhendong with a 3-point lead. It's like a piñata. Once Ma Long is cracked open, Fan Zhendong might be able to take candy for the rest of his career. But on the world tour still, Fan Zhendong has yet to beat Ma Long. So much touch, and finally a chop block finds the net. Both players recovering net balls in this rally. Ma Long having to get way in for it. That's the spin ball. If that ball comes over the net, it's going to be deadly. Fierce, low to the net with heavy side and under from Fan Zhendong. Mostly side, though, the way he came into that ball. Off the top of the net, but still the Chiquita for a winner. Right into the middle, off the hand. Ball comes up. If that comes down on the table, it's going to be a very difficult and awkward ball, despite being high. Ma Long's going to have to read the rotation. As fast as they come backhand to backhand, that's a huge point for Fan Zhendong to take a 3-point lead. Ball left too high. Subtle contact on the serve, and light topspin from the pendulum sets up the third ball. 4 game points for Fan Zhendong. Down the line, Ma Long saves with the forehand. Saves 1 game point. Still 3 to go for Fan Zhendong. Well-placed serve drifts just off the table, but at the back end, Fan Zhendong rarely doesn't contact the ball. This could be where the mental comes in. Again, the toughest point in any game is game point. The finishing, crossing the line. One more touch shot from Ma Long leaves it short on the forehand. Zhendong has to be thinking a little bit about a timeout. It's early in the match. But after being up 10-6, to not take this game would be a travesty, would be heartbreak for Zhendong. Oh, and Ma Long saves it again. The grunting, powerful shot, and there are the hearts of the crowd. Perfect timing from the lady in red, giving love back to Ma Long after the Olympic victory. Ma Long was in trouble in that point. But again, anticipation, quick movement, and quality shots and performance under pressure.
Lights. 10-0.
Zhendong taking the deuce for an advantage for his 5th game point this game. Shot for Ma Long to save another game point. It's his 5th game point saved. Full commitment, gets really wrapped around that ball, playing it to the shorter side of the table, out to the forehand. I was thinking about the screams of the fans here. However many thousands of people it is that fill this stadium. I think if it weren't for the fact that most of them are young women that want nothing more than to be heard by their crushes and their favorite players. This volume just can't be created by average fans, 3,000 or 4,000 strong. Zhendong with his 6th game point. So we've got battling cheers here. Ma Long, Jiao, Xiaopeng, Jiao. Xiaopeng, the endearing nickname, Little Fatty, for Zhendong. Below the table, kicking out wide, Zhendong takes it 13-11. But what a nerve-wracking way to take a game after being up 10-6. But a clutch way to make sure you steal it, hang on to it. A bending ball from below the table. And the young 19-year-old prodigy, Zhendong, Xiaopeng, goes up 2-0 over the world champion, world rank #1, Ma Long. Game 3 just after this. Back for game 3, Zhendong leading 2-0 over Ma Long. Again, 0-8, Zhendong's history with Ma Long on the World Tour.
One love.
Quick off the bounce with the backhand. Zhendong keeps the heat in play. A little bit more forward motion on that second backhand, the counter. Thrills in the backhand, finds the net. Again, these wide-angle counter-looping rallies, just incredible. Both players fit to chase it down. Zhendong is going to run around and take that forehand whenever he can. Once again, squatting. This is where leg strength really comes in. Zhendong gets the right leg back and out of the way on the first, but a wide stance for both. Still manages to twist and turn at the waist and generate a lot of pace. It's simply amazing how hard these players hit the ball. And look at the scoreboard. 2 games to love for Zhendong and 5 love in this game. Ma Long on the scoreboard with his first point. It's the opening backhand for pressure early on. Really has to get in there, racket head straight down to generate so much racket movement. Real racket speed from over the table. Very similar to the point that won the game for Zhendong in the last game, except the roles have reversed. Ma Long from below the table spinning, quick counter, and Zhendong not able to recover from the stroke before. Wow, that's power. Just one shot, that's all it takes sometimes. Again, the 2 best players in the world by world ranking. In red, world rank number 1, Ma Long, and black and yellow is Zhendong, world rank number 2. So if anyone's going to counter these shots, they're standing across the table from each other. Ma Long, the first one to put some real pace on the ball. Most of these backhands are strong enough, I'd say, for any top league players in the world to feel pressure. But when they really turn it on, they're just unrivaled. Wow! Where's the still shot of that? Zhendong bending like limbo out here. Just arched his back so much to make the shot. There are going to be photos. You can find them on ITTF.com. Do a little searching, look for photos from the tournament. Chop block is effective in the sense that it goes deep to the backhand, way out on the table. Watch this one more time, right at the baseline, but it's not effective in the sense that Zhendong gets around and takes the forehand to win the point. So I guess maybe effective would be the wrong term. Just impressive nonetheless. That's the way a chop block is done. Short side of the table, trouble for Ma Long. He does not want to be down 0-3 at the second towel break of game 3. Really has his work cut out for him to come back here. As far as mental toughness, the 19-year-old Zhendong would be heartbroken to lose this game after being up 9-3. Trying to play it softly. Surprise Ma Long with the shot soft into the backhand. Again, the obvious choice is to go cross court with that, but Ma Long's waiting right there for that counter attack. Step around and a bit of extra power. Xiaopang now, Zhendong with 6 game points. But here's some excitement, some squealing and screeching in the crowd. Players getting excited to see Fan Zhendong move on to a 3-0 lead and do what he's never done before, beat Ma Long on the World Tour. Forehand, Ma Long saves another game point. The timeout, Fan Zhendong calls it. He's had some real pressure moments where a timeout seemed like the obvious choice earlier in this match. But I think no better time than right now. He still has 3 game points left. Forehand is the favorite shot for Fan Zhendong. It's just crazy to think about when you imagine and recall how many times he's won points from off the table, down below the table, from anywhere. He can be so threatening with that backhand. The percentages of winners come from the forehand, so what serve's it going to be? The receive game, the backhand, I think Fan Zhendong, well, he needs to be bold and play with a bit of risk. I think he can't be too fancy either. Getting a little bit too creative and clever might lower his percentages. Maybe light top, half long to the backhand side. We'll see. Wow! Look at all the wrist action from Ma Long on this ball. People in the crowd trying to impersonate it. One more time. Boom. Ends up with the backhand side of the racket out on the forehand. Completely turns the racket around for that ball. So 1 point, game point saved from the timeout. Ma Long now with the serves. Well placed to the middle of the table. Fan Zhendong catches. Ma Long hung out to dry in the backhand corner, stepping around. That's what happens when you move too early sometimes. Fan Zhendong is prepared, and he shuts the door in game 3, a 3-0 lead. We'll see what happens game 4 after this short break. As the players come back for game 4, Ma Long is down 0 games to 3 against Fan Zhendong. Fan Zhendong in black and yellow at the top of the screen. Quite frankly, at this point in his career, I had expected Fan Zhendong would already be world ranked #1, but Ma Long just hasn't slowed down.
Love 1.
Now again, while we like to see 7 gamers deciding games coming down to the wire, if Fan Zhendong takes this, it will be history. They faced off 8 times, and all 8 of them have been won by Ma Long. Well, I don't think winning this title will make Fan Zhendong world #1. There's a chance. I think he's still too many points behind Ma Long. But as likened to a piñata earlier, if Fan Zhendong can break Ma Long open, I think he'll keep coming back for more candy. Very difficult shot, slides off the forehand rubber. Low spinny shot deep on the table from Ma Long. Now, a moment ago when we had the close-up on Ma Long's eyes, after giving his heart at the Olympics and sharing love with the world, there's still something creepy about a man who can come back from down 0-3 against world number 2. A little bit off the top of the net, but Zhendong takes the point. Now again, this is all just a thought if Ma Long can come back. Right now, there's no sign saying that it's going to happen. The body language of Ma Long, the hand and the fingers through the hair, could be a sign of stress out here, things not working out for Ma Long.
5-2.
And in rallies like this, stress could definitely be a factor. Ma Long tightening up a bit. Zhendong with a spinny backhand, not the type to normally win a point against Ma Long. The streak continues for Zhendong. Again, game 7s are nice, but when you're watching history being made, even a 4-0 win for Zhendong could be the most exciting thing to report to the news. Look at this side spin on the Chiquita, coming around the ball. More side spin than I've seen from an over-the-table backhand banana flip.
Lights, 2-7.
And just 3 points away from making history. Ma Long's gonna have to step in and do something to stop this right about now. Strange body language. We don't see exhibition points with this score in a match. And a few points if Zhendong continues to win, then yes. But Ma Long is still gonna fight. My goodness. It's gotta be embarrassing for Zhang Jike. Flattering yet embarrassing at the same time. World rank number 1 and world rank number 2 playing their hearts out here. And the fan screams out, Zhang Jike Jayo. Zhang Jike. This feels a lot like the World Championships for any other sport, in the sense that we've got huge celebrities lining the court right now.
4-8.
Ma Long creeping in just a bit, 2 points in a row from down 2-8. Mixing it up with the serve, inviting the backhand-to-backhand rally, staying away from Zhendong's forehand attack.
5-8.
Not too often we see Ma Long serving from the backhand, but he's probably going to stick with it out here, deep in thought. That one comes off the table just a little bit too long. Ma Long has been varying it up, and a very puzzled Chinese Table Tennis Association member in the background watches closely. Zhendong asking permission to clean this sweat off his rubber. Dripped onto the racket.
9-5.
Although he immediately went to the towel and cleaned his arms, which is a bit unusual, more like a towel break. The backhand attack from Ma Long, just a bit too late to get in. And we've got 5 championship points for Zhendong to not only take a title on a Super Series, but take it over the most unbeaten player in the last 2 years. And the dictator has been dictated by little fatty Xiaopeng. Fan Zhendong is the China Open champion at 19 years old, and history has been made for the first time in 9 attempts. Fan Zhendong takes down the captain, the dragon, the dictator, Ma Long, and world number 2 over world number 1. What a match it was. 4 straight